A very good evening to one and all. Now in this lecture we will discuss about the robots. So in the previous class we have discussed about the material handling system introduction and what are the AGVS, automated guided vehicle system. And now in this lecture we will discuss about the robotics. Okay. So first of all, uh, robotics robotics is a branch of engineering that involves conception, design, manufacturing, and operation of machines assigned for specific high precision and repetitive tasks. So, in the programmable automation, robotics concept plays an important role in the production system. So, robotics is another example for the uh, programmable automation in production systems. So a robot is used as a material handling device. So robots are a programmable machines with human-like capabilities. They are made of mechanical components, a control system, and a computer like NC machine tool. So a robot also required a program to control and coordinate the movement of its axis. So a robot can be employed to serve variety of tasks like picking, placing, assembly of components, etc. So its role is more significant in the computer integrated manufacturing environment. So what is the definition? There are so many definitions are introduced by different companies or different institutions. So according to the Robot Institute of America (RIA), a robot is defined as a robot. It is a programmable multifunction manipulator designed to move material, parts, tools, or special devices through variable programmable motions for performance of variety of tasks. So a robot can also be defined as a machine that does work on its own after it is programmed by humans. Okay, so this is the robot. So in the generally in the manufacturing environment, robots are necessary for to do with capabilities superior to those human beings in terms of strength, size, speed, accuracy, and repeatability. And to perform the simple and repetitive tasks with better quality and consistency, and to perform the task which human beings do not like to do, and to perform the task in difficult and hazardous areas to replace the humans, and to perform the task without rest, and to reduce the cost of labor, and to be more flexible. That means it should be reconfigured and reprogrammed, and to make them be used in new or modified applications. So these are the various important things in the manufacturing environment. Okay, about the robot. And now coming to the types of robots. So robots are broadly classified into the according to its type of control, and according to capability, according to the configuration, and based on the manipulation function. So one by one we'll look at of it, and according to the type of control means we are going to control the robot with the help of the numerical control program. So this one is according to the type of control is a point-to-point robots and continuous point robots and computer trajectory robots and servo controlled robots. So these are the according to the type of control and its capability. Now according to the capability, so sequence controlled robots, adaptive robots and intelligent robot. So according to its capability, these three terms are under into the account. And now according to its configuration, so Cartesian coordinate robot, cylindrical coordinate robot, spherical robot, articulated robot. So these are the configuration robot. And coming to the manipulation functions, based on manipulation function means pick and place robot, universal robot, special purpose robots. So these are the various types of robots involved in the manufacturing area. And now, so according to the configuration, so in our syllabus, we will discuss some of the most common robot configurations. So robot configurations. First one is a polar coordinate. So polar coordinate configuration robot. So it is the polar coordinate configuration robot. This is also called as a spherical coordinate robot because the workspace within which it can move its arm is a partial sphere. So this is the figure. See this figure. Here the robot has a rotary base and a pivot that can be used to raise and lower a telescopic arm. So this is the polar coordinate robot. And now cylindrical robot, cylindrical coordinate. So in this configuration, the robot body is a vertical column that swivels about vertical axis. The arm consists of several orthogonal slides which allow the arm to be moved up or down and in and out with respect to the body. This figure shows the cylindrical robot. And now jointed arm configuration robot. So it is similar in appearance to the human arm. The arm consists of a straight member connected by joints which are similar to the human shoulder, elbow and wrist. The robot arm is mounted to a base. So next one is a Cartesian coordinate configuration robot. It consists of three orthogonal slides as shown in figure. So three slides are parallel to x, y and z axis of a Cartesian coordinate system. So the robot is capable of moving its arm to any point within three-dimensional space. So these are the various robot configurations generally used in the manufacturing area. And now principal components of a robot. So this is the typical robot. It's a standalone robot. So these robots, the basic following components are robot controller unit and manipulator and robot tooling. So here the robot controller, the program instructions to the robot to perform the desired task are input through the keyboard of this unit. A teach pendant is also provided for giving non-textual commands input. The controller converts the input program to the suitable signals which activate the manipulator to perform the desired task. So this is the robot controller. Now coming to the manipulator, which consists of a base, arm and wrist similar to the human arm. It also includes power source, either electric, hydraulic or pneumatic, on receiving signals from robot controller, and this mechanical unit will be activated. So the movement of manipulator can be in relation to its coordinate system, which may be Cartesian, cylindrical robots, etc. So depending upon the controller, the movement may be point to point motion or continuous motion. This is the manipulator. And now tooling, robot tooling. So it is the hand or the gripper of the robot, and is also called as a end effector. And it is provided at the end of the robot arm. Its design depends on the nature of the work to be performed by the robot. In part handling applications, the type of part used would influence the shape, size, and material of the gripper. In some applications, task tools like spray painting gun, flame cutting torch, drilling spindle, etc. are directly fastened to the robot wrist and acts as the end effector. So these are the principal components of a robot. And now coming to the degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom in the robot motion. So the number of independent movements the wrist can perform in three-dimensional space relative to robot's base is called degrees of freedom of a robot. So there are six basic motions or 6 degrees of freedom which provide the robot with the capability to move the end effector through the required sequence of motions. The six basic motions consist of three arm and body motions and three wrist motions as shown in this figure. So these motions are arm and body motions. So first vertical traverse, so up and down movement of the arm, and now radial traverse, in and out of the arm, and rotational traverse, rotation about the vertical axis, that means right or left swivel of the robot arm. And now wrist motions, so wrist motions, roll, pitch, so roll, wrist swivel, that means rotational or swivel movement in the plane perpendicular to the end of the arm. And wrist bend means pitch, up or down movement of the wrist, which also involves rotational movement. Now so right or left swivel of the wrist. Okay, so these are the various degrees of freedom of a robot. And now coming to the next one, end effectors. So the end effector is the end of the arm which is provided at the end of robot arm. So it is attached to the robot wrist to perform a specific task. The task may be work handling, spot welding, spray painting, or some other functions. So the end effector will have 3 degrees of motions, namely roll, pitch, yaw. So types of end effectors. There are two types of end effectors: grippers, tools. So grippers. So grippers are used to hold either work parts or tools. The type of material used for grippers depends on orientation of part and friction between the part and gripper. So the operations performed by the gripper to move the fingers with commanded speed and to grip the handled part with not more than specific force. Next, to open, move and close the fingers at specified positions, and to measure dimensions of part. And types of grippers are mechanical grippers, magnetized gripper devices, hooks, scoops or ladles, suction cups, vacuum cups, etc. So these are the different grippers. Okay, and now tools. So grippers, tools. So the use of gripper as an effector is limited because it may not be compatible to certain applications like welding, painting, etc. So a robot tool is fastened directly to the robot wrist and acts as an end effector. So tools used with robots like spot welding gun, arc welding tools, spray painting gun, drilling spindles, grinders, etc. So these are the various end effectors used in the manufacturing, used in the robot. Okay. So now coming to the advantages and the limitations of robot. So various advantages like consistency. Consistency means it eliminates the human labor in the production and can be employed in the hazardous working conditions, and it can be reduced rejections and elimination of production losses due to the operator fatigue, and flexible to adopt a new technology as it is a highly uh, programmable unit, and to perform the repetitive tasks and reduced labor cost also. Irregular work surfaces or heavy work surfaces are easy to uh, involved, easy to operate, and easy to perform the task of handling. And the main limitations of robot, its initial investment is high. Initial investment is very high, and need expert technician to undertake maintenance problems. And now coming to the uh, robots in computer integrated manufacturing systems. So robot plays a important role in the computer aided manufacturing systems. So robots are used in this environment because they have a number of performance advantages over the human labor or hard automation in manufacturing systems. So robot programs can be very simple or complex depending on the nature of the task and the type of motion control involved. This makes more flexible of CIMS environment. So robots are used in automated parts handling like picking, placing of parts, loading and unloading of parts on required machines. So automated parts processing like drilling, riveting, arc welding, etc. So automated parts assembly like car bodies, motors, etc. This makes the computer integrated manufacturing environment more efficient. So therefore, these industrial robots has become an essential component of CIMS. So it supports the greater integration of the factory operations. So various applications, areas of application of robot in the manufacturing environment like parts handling. So parts handling means to recognize and separate the parts, and picking and placing the parts at desired locations, and palletizing and depalletizing the parts, loading and unloading the parts on required machines. So these are the various applications in the parts handling applications. And now parts processing. So it involves for doing operations like drilling, riveting, arc welding, grinding, coating, heat treatment, spray painting, polishing, flame cutting, etc. So inspection also. And now product building. So in the product building, it may involve the assembly of products like electric motors, car bodies, circuit boards, etc. So nowadays robots are increasingly being used in undesirable and hazardous environment like that of excessive heat, dust, noise, fumes, and for doing dirty, dangerous, and difficult tasks. So robots plays a very important role in the present scenario. So this is the brief discussion about the topic robot. So overall, in this unit, material handling system. So a material handling system and its functions, the types, primary material, secondary material handling system. And now automated guided vehicles. So automated guided vehicles types and applications. And next robots types, and components of robot, degrees of freedom and effectors, advantages, disadvantages and applications of robot, and role of robots in a computer integrated manufacturing system. So this is the unit 6 unit 6 in a computer aided manufacturing subject. I hope everyone understand these concepts. So please read well and stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.